Today, we're going to discuss visual search. It's maybe the easiest thing we can do with our platform and our API, even in terms of whether you're doing it in platform, like by clicking, we're going to do the clicks, or if you're doing the API call, this is maybe the easiest thing other than adding inputs. So it is also very powerful. That's why it is important to know what is going on with visual search. With visual search, it answers the question of how similar images or videos are to each other. And yes, we can do visual search across videos where we look at each of the frames in the videos and then we rank them, but that's beyond the point. When we have images added into an app, we can essentially just sort the app based on how one image is similar, how the entire app, how the entire inputs are similar to one input. And we're going to, don't worry about the framing of these words. We're going to see that in action in just a few minutes. It helps, you would have heard different things like, I want to know what kind of like over, for example, on the right-hand side, we see these bags are being rearranged based on this input image that we gave it. So what it's doing is it's telling us how similar all of our inputs are based on a test image, which is this bag over here. It helps us classify, things like, or group together, not classify, group together things that are similar to each other. That could be faces, paintings, landscapes, faces, paintings, like machine parts, all these things. You'll be surprised by how many things we can actually group together just using visual search. It won't answer the question of what is in the image, that's classification, or where in the image something is, that's detection. Some of the most common visual use cases, facial recognition is a big one that I've been talking to Jeff about a lot this week for some reason, but it is one of the easiest ways of making a facial recognition or facial detection systems for pretty much any kind of a business enterprise. Could be a small or a big one. Just using a few images, you can create a very accurate facial detection, facial recognition system. Product search, we're going to see an active example, a production use case example of this for product search in just a little bit. But it's pretty much, you imagine you're going on Amazon or on Lowe's or any website, and you are trying to buy something, and you will always get these recommendations saying, you should try out this thing too. This is similar to what you're looking for. That's pretty much doing what we would do in visual search. And fraud detection is one use case. It's used by one of our clients, TeePublic. Yeah, TeePublic. They use visual search to classify images. So what happens is they have a lot of people uploading designs that they want to put on T-shirts. So they have their entire catalog added to our platform. It's a few million images. And when somebody say, I want to submit a new design, I have a design, they will take the image of that design and they will do visual search to see if that design matches what they already have in their database or in our platform, in their app. Now, if it does match, they will then use visual text to read what's in the image to make sure that I'm not trying to copy someone else's design. So that's one use case. That's one of the many use cases of visual search. Like for retail, we talked about how it helps customers discover things that are similar to what they're looking for. It also increases the chance of you selling more stuff. If you are a retail use case, you're doing pretty much visual search to show the things that are relevant to what they're looking for. Like, for example, over on the right side, we can see this, like somebody's looking for some kind of a pendant or something. And let's assume that the rest of this is just the database of that users or the businesses things that they're selling. So this would essentially just resort the app based on how similar all of these inputs are to what the user is looking, which is this thing right here, the pendant. And then the business can just read these images and display them back to this is as a suggestion of what is similar to what that user is looking for. Facial recognition, we already went through this. This is one of the ways one of the easiest ways of implementing a facial recognition system is using our visual search. I'm actually working with one of Kyle's solutions integrators and with Grant on how to make this work. So, ideal if you were doing a traditional machine learning way, you would need to upload like a bunch of different images and do like train a model and then try to make predictions on it. So the easiest way we could do facial recognition with our visual search is you take per person like 3, maybe 5 images. So if I am, say I just joined Clarifai and we wanted to use our own visual search to make a visual facial recognition system, I would just take my 3 or 5 images, add those images to an app where face model is the base workflow with the metadata of, um, like name, Sanwall, what plant department I'm working in, whatever I want to add, I can just add it to the metadata. And now every time I want to access one of Clarifai's facilities, we will just make a prediction to that app where we have our employees' data, and it will do visual search on that app. It would pretty much redisplay the entire app this way, and then we can check if the top 2 or 3 images are actually the same image or same person, and we can be reasonably sure that it is the correct person. Digital asset management, the same way. If we're looking for things, if you're a big company or even a small company, we have a lot of assets, images, videos. We can use visual search to decrease time based on similarity of the things that we're looking for. Now, how does it work? A high-level understanding of visual search is when we create base workflows, that's why they're very important on which base workflow we set, is because in each of those base workflows, you would have an embedding model. That embedding model will take an image and it will create embeddings for them, which are just really large matrices with a bunch of numbers. And then we store those embeddings of that image or that input that we're adding. And if you have an app that doesn't have a base workflow, like if you have an empty app, you can't do visual search on there. And so we store these embeddings in a database. And then every time we want to do visual search, what we do is we pull those embeddings and essentially just plot them on a graph. And we say, well, how similar are they to each other? And we use a metric called, I'm not going to get into it, it's unnecessary, but we use a similarity metric to calculate how similar each image is to each other and to the test image that we just asked the app to do visual search on. And that's how we calculate how similar images are to each other, and then we display them as a result.